scenes.
All right.
And all that stuff. So
That's the just do a lot of.
So we're opening things up here. We are going to be treating this room. This is going to be our vocal acoustic guitar room. We got diffusers here. We've got Matt Bowen here. We've got Nelson here. With nothing on the walls. My Stevie Ray Vaughan is gone. And we've got Ian Schreier of Manifold Recording. It's a little recording studio down the street with an M box.
yeah.
You got Woody.
One. That's
Nothing back
5,
behind
6,
this thing.
7. Yeah. And then
We'll be
Eight.
standing here to sing.
9, 10, 11, and the 12th one, I don't know where it'll go. It might go.
Woody with a backpack with it.
He's just
Yeah,
got
stand
to
here.
walk around. Yeah, it might need to go.
Stand in a certain place in the room.
Or
What about the back of the door?
you know this.
Dave. I mean, it wasn't that busy, but shit, tip jar was full.
Yeah.
People liked what we were doing. Yeah, make a time.
Yeah, I do like it.
I'll be damned if
Plus,
that
you know, I
looks
get in a
level to
little
me.
trouble when it's not, too bad to drive home.
Yeah,
It was-
it's powerful. That's whatever I need to do. Just do it.
And you set up a little desk for it, though. The biggest thing about my place is
Please get somebody besides me to do it, please.
We're going to do it nail polish.
You'll have a big pile of goo.
It's amazing these silly little things
Toothbrush.
actually have made this room sound so much better already, and we're not done yet. Or they're not done yet.
What?
What is that?
I looked up. You said look up bad band names on Google Images.
Band photos.
Yeah, these are bad band photos.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Sons of Butcher.
So Ian and Johnny and all the guys put all this stuff up, and they kind of tuned it up, and we closed the door, and I sang
With no tent?
with no tent, and it was crazy. I could kind of hear myself in my headphones, and it really sounds good without even tenting. Oh, could you imagine if we don't have to tent? How beautiful that'll be. It's not nearly as dark, because that was one of the things that was kind of weird when I brought the tracks back from Armando. All of Armando's tracks were brighter and more vibrant, and no matter what, and he had two mics that I had the same thing here. I had this, the TeleUSA U47, and then I ended up having the UM900, and all his tracks were brighter.
Well, brighter is such a subjective term. We
It's
tend
more-
to think of it as having more high end, but brighter can also be more present or more foreground or
Yeah, I mean,
all different
just-
kinds of things.
It felt like everything felt covered in here. Like it was
Yes.
like a little, like, kind of a thing over the top of the vocal. So here is the FET 47 tracked in here the other day with the tent. The original one that we tracked, no effects, no compression, no EQ, just straight 1073. Well, I climb mountains just to be here today, and I turn around and I do. And then this was just now in the room with no tent. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today, and I turn around. That sounds so much better to me. It's so much more alive. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today. Wow. And I turn That's so much better, huh? And I do it again. What an improvement. You've got my heart. Wow, what an improvement. The old tent day. Well, I climb mountains just to be here today. Just covered.
You should try an acoustic in that room. I'm really curious.
That's
to see
what's
how the
next.
acoustic-
That's what's next. Let's do that. So we've been experimenting with miking acoustic. This is my Martin with the UM900 in Omni.
It was Omni.
It was Omni. Okay.
It was all Omni.
So my big realization, wow, the 47, the Telefunken sounds fantastic in that room. the Telefunken having this kind of low mid, little heavier weighted, darker thing in the tent was just congested. And now this is with the room wide open. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today. And I turn around and I do it again. That's insane. You've got my heart beating a new way. And that's why we're all gathered. That is unbelievable. Wow, this is amazing. The Telefunken U47 has fully come to life with the room being sounding better. Unbelievable. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today, and I turn around and I do it again. Oh, that just sounds so good, Ian. Ian, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
And now we can work on, you know, we can do partial tenting to kind of tighten it up or darken it up, and then, you know, that this is all wide open.
Even little stuff, like, you'll be amazed at how much better things like a shaker or a tambourine will sound in that room.
Yeah.
It will just pop right into a mix because it will have natural ambience. It will make a big difference.
Right, right.
Yeah. You'll like it a lot better.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
Like that. All right, so, man, what a difference. So we just brought this guy in. This is one of those rock wool guys. I think this is gonna help. And then I just put the one little dude right here, and it really sounded a lot better, a little thicker sounding. This is gonna be a lot more user friendly too, without having to tent everything up, and just, it's gonna be good, man. Yes, this is gonna be great. I'm excited. All right, put on some headphones. I gotta tell you this, hey, this Telefunken U47 is so much better with the room more lively and more vibrant. In that tent, it was just like, the heaviness of the mic was being compounded with the heaviness of the tent. 1, 2, test 1, 2. Oh, sounds so good. Just even in headphones. All right, man, here, we ready to hit this? Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today, and I turn around and I do it again. You've got my heart beating a new way, and that's why we're all gathered today. Well, I'm here with you to say I really love you. Yes, I do. Forever and always, I'll be with you. All right. Amazing. And I've always hated vocal booths. I don't know, I just always thought I didn't like singing in them, and I never liked the sound. And the tenting that we did was kind of a bit of a stripped down version, but it still had a little bit of that vocal booth vibe. All right, let's see what we got going on here. So this is U47 heading west, half tent, and this is now with our little baffle or whatever, bass trap. Is this gonna be insane or what? Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today, and I turn around and I do it again. You've got my heart, the killer, huh? Beating a new way, and that's why we're all gathered today. Well, I'm here with you to say I really love you. Yes, I do. Forever and always, I'll be with you. Wow, that's such a humongous improvement. Wow. Where was our...
That's the mic too.
Yeah, that's just killer. Here's the U47 track from the other day. straight 1073 in the tent, and listen to it. I'm not gonna be able to hear. I'll send more clips, but here's the here it is, the tent. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today, and I turn around and I do it again. You've got my heart. And then, which is the one we just did, facing west with half tent.
Yes.
And then here's what we just cut. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today. Whoa! And I turn around and I do it again. You've got my heart beating a new way. You know, it's funny. It's not even like, it's not, the track that we're hitting right now isn't all that much louder. It's a little bit louder. It's not that much louder. It's just popping. Let me get this guy where.
Old sounding microphone.
Yeah, let me get this right about there, I think. And let me bring this back down to 0. So there you go. Here's our original tent. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today, and I turn around and I do it again. And here's now. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today, and I turn around and I do it again. Oh, I can't believe it, man. Ian did it. He did it. He did it. Man, he did it. Well, I've climbed mountains just to be here today, and that's it, man. It's all over. We're stepping it up, Woody. All right. So this ended up being the setup that really was kind of. So, Ian, we draped this over here. I know this looks kind of wacky, but it's working. Oddly enough, this is working. We draped this over, we put the eyelets up here like that, so that this covers over this hole where the couch is and everything. This was kind of a problem, so we just got rid of that. Then Ian used the diffusers to somewhat get rid of the standing waves. He put some on the ceiling, a couple over there, and we set up the mic, and we didn't do a tent. We just sang, and it sounded great. It was like so much better than the tent, like night and day better than the tent. Felt just a hair alive, so I said, let's just put a little something back here, kind of singing this way into it, and that was really nice. But I could still hear this thing kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I could even hear it, like not even in the recording. I could just hear it through my headphones in the room, and I could hear it kind of bouncing. And then we had this extra Rockwell trap that Chris Berner had made for us when we first moved here, and we weren't really using it. And we talked about putting it in the corner, and that was the ticket. Once we put that in here, then it was nice. I know this isn't like, the ultimate looking thing, but it actually really sounds good. And so a lot of what prompted this was that when we got back from Armando's in Mexico, we noticed that all of his files had kind of a certain sound to them. Pretty vibrant and open, brighter, not as much bass buildup. Even the C12 that had a lot of low end didn't feel like anything was building up. It sounded really nice. And all of our recordings felt kind of a little bit darker, a little kind of covered, a little kind of just like, I don't know, just covered. That's the only way I could put it. So, and even the Telefunken U47 here, the reissue, against his reissue there, it sounded totally different. So then I kind of knew, I was like, you know what, it's this room thing happening. So we, up until that point, we had been always tracking with this tent. We'd created kind of a tent. So I said, we got to do something. So Ian Schreier from Manifold, who obviously knows a lot about designing an awesome studio. If anybody knows about Manifold in Pittsburgh, that's like one of the most incredibly designed studios on the planet. And he was there, I think, pretty much from day one I mean, Wes Show designed it, but I mean, you know, he learned a lot about all this stuff. So, and he's just a really super talented, knowledgeable guy anyway. So he came in here and said, "Oh, you need some diffusion. You need to create a sound in here." So we got these. Which when I came in, I was like, these things seem silly, these little diffusers. But you know what? As strange as it seems, this has worked. And we tracked vocals today with our new room, and they sound awesome. Hey! Hey! And that's it. And we've got, we tracked the U47, which honestly was the one that was, this was the single one that benefited the most from the room. This was the one that was not doing well in a tent. I think the tent was creating some low-mid build-up and kind of covering, and then, you know, this guy already has some low-mid going on, so I think that we were creating, you know, too much of a good thing, so to speak, meaning this thing had some low-mid, the tent had some low-mid, and it just sounded muddy. And also, something that I didn't realize about this mic until we built this, you know, set the room up today, is like, this mic has like top end. For some reason, the tent just absolutely ate all the top end off of this microphone. So anyway, this guy sounded beyond fantastic. The UM900 sounded great too. At first, the room was too lively for it. Once we put the tent up, and this guy came into focus. This is more open, more along the lines of like the C12 kind of thing. And the Heiserman FET 47, the FET 47 in a lot of ways did good in both rooms. It was, you know, I don't think that it had all that extra low end thing going on, so that it was good in the tent, but it was even better in here. And this is an incredible mic. This is like my new favorite little U87, you know, type of totally useful, sounds great on everything type of mic. I can already tell. Yeah, I really like it. I like the FET. I like it, you know, it's kind of quicker moving than the tube. Very good mic, excellent mic, made by Eric Heiserman. But anyway, there you go. So there is my very strange looking vocal room, which is actually also my office. So we're gonna have to figure out a game plan to put some something up here so that this room doesn't look so strange. Obviously we won't have that, and then when clients are here we take this down and then they can sit on the couch. But I had like a huge Stevie Ray Vaughan picture here, and I mean like 4 feet by 3 feet, like a massive thing, and I had pictures and like awards I'd won and stuff were here. So we took it all down, and there you go. But it really did work. I'm very excited. We're going to run a headphone amp back here so that singers can control the volume themselves. And we have a pair of Biodynamic DT770s coming tomorrow. So we're going to have some nice, comfortable, good headphones. You know, just stepping it up, man. It's getting better.